strong.
I got some pancakes here. I just realized I don't want them to get cold, so let me go ahead and get comfortable while I'm talking to y'all. Don't mind me. Just consider this an extra to this video, aka a mukbang, or some would say mukbang. I don't know. Mukbang. Oh, I got pancakes all the place. Anyway, excuse me. Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel, Holistic Beauty RN. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're an OG, oldie but a goodie, welcome back. So in today's video, if you guys haven't already gathered by the title, I'm going to talk about 5 things to help get you through nurse practitioner school. That's right. So if you are here for the advice, if you're a registered nurse considering going to nurse practitioner school, or maybe not, you're starting off your journey fresh, no nursing experience, you're just thinking about, I think I want to be a nurse practitioner one day, whatever the case may be. Maybe you're a nurse and you just looking for some motivation on what you should do after nursing, whatever the case may be. If this seems like the type of video that you're interested in, stay tuned. For those of you guys who don't know, I am a board certified family nurse practitioner. Just finished school this past May, and my program was about 3.5 years. I received my master's of science in nursing, had to take my exam to be board certified. ANCC is one of the certifying bodies that nurse practitioners have to test through to get board certified so that they can practice. It's basically like what nurses have to do. They have to take their test to get certified as a registered nurse. It's called the NCLEX. So for NPs or nurse practitioners, we have to do the same. So that's what allows us to become an advanced practice registered nurse so that we can practice in our field. It's more to it than just finishing school. You actually have to take a certifying exam to get you certified and licensed. So it's a bit more tricky. Actually, I'm going to talk about, brings me to one of my video ideas. I'm going to talk about the process of how to get you through certification when you're done with school, because honey, it's a lot of things. And luckily I had some help along the way to help get me through each of them processes. But anyway, that's another video. So again, like I said, I am a board certified family nurse practitioner. I am currently working as a nurse practitioner. For those of you who may wonder, I am working in an urgent care facility. So urgent care, aka immediate care, we are kind of like a step down from ER or the emergency room. So the patient is not as critical to where they have to go to an emergency room, but at the same time, like if they can't get into their doctor's office for whatever reason, maybe it's something like they have a laceration, they need some sutures, but it's not severe enough to where they have to sit and wait in an emergency room. And even if they were to go to an emergency room, they probably gonna have to sit and wait longer because they're gonna prioritize the more emergent cases before them. If it's a patient like that, then they can come to an immediate care or urgent care setting. So that is where I currently work right now. I've been there for about a month now, and so far I love it. Yeah. Let's get right into the video. So 5 things to help get you through nurse practitioner school. The first thing, number 1. I cannot stress this enough, y'all. Please, if you don't listen to anything else that I say in this video, if this is the only thing that you hear, the only thing on the list that you hear, I ask and I pray that you take heed to it, because this is by far one of the most important things that you can do in nurse practitioner school to keep you sane and to get you through. And that is be organized. Now, for me personally, I use, which I wish I had it. I don't know where it is because we recently moved, so I still kind of got stuff in boxes and stuff, and it's probably one in the boxes, I don't know. But I'll leave, if you guys check the description box, I always tend to leave things from the videos that may be helpful or useful. I will definitely leave a link to the planner down below. Be organized. That is so important. Oh my gosh, you guys. It's like this, right? Especially for those of y'all who are in nursing school or currently in nursing school, y'all know the drill. Y'all know it's so much work. Y'all know it's a lot of homework and tests and things that you have to study outside of your other daily activities, whatever you may got going on in your life, work, family, whatever. So get you a good, reliable planner or you could just use your phone, where you can kind of keep yourself organized to some extent, so you don't have to get like a physical planner. I'm the type of person though, I will use my phone, but at the same time I like to have like a physical planner so I can have it written down. It's just quick and easy to get to. I'm in the classroom, I don't want to be pulling out my phone making it look like I'm on my phone, so I just take out something, a planner, and just write it down. It's so easy, so simple. Bam, put it down, look at the calendar, flip through. So write down, get organized, get a planner where you can write down upcoming tests, when assignments are due, when projects are due. Child, you're gonna remember and know, oh, wait a minute, maybe I shouldn't pick up that extra shift that week because I got a test. So I guarantee it, staying organized is so imperative to get through school. Number 2 on the list of things that help get you through nursing school: don't procrastinate. I guess that kind of goes hand in hand with being organized. Don't procrastinate. So what I mean by that is, you got a test coming up, especially because you wrote it down in your planner, so you knew that it was going to be tomorrow or next week. Hopefully you have good time management skills. So that kind of plays, or that kind of is the same thing as don't procrastinate. Have good time management skills, because if you know that you have a test coming up in the next week and you know that you have to get through 3, 4, 5 chapters for that test coming up, it will be good to know that and to make sure that you plan your time accordingly. You have this amount of days before the test comes up. And I got to work on this day. So let me make sure that these other days that I'm getting some studying in, because that test is going to cover these 5 chapters and I need to make sure that I know them, especially if I'm not sure the teacher's going to give me a study guide, because she already tripping as it is. She don't seem like she the best kind of teacher out there. So it seemed like I'm gonna have to teach this stuff myself. I'm telling you, I can't lie about this stuff, y'all. I've went through it. I've had teachers like that. I'm sure y'all have had teachers like that. Teachers where you felt like, all she's doing is talking about her personal life, and I didn't get nothing useful out of this lecture. This was just a waste of an hour and a half of my time. I'm gonna have to teach myself. And on top of that, I'm gonna have to make sure that I have the time to do so, because I got a whole lot of other stuff going on, especially if I'm taking another class along with this one. So it's good to have good time management skills, to organize your time accordingly, because honey, you are going to need it. Nursing school, nurse practitioner school is no joke. We're talking about people's lives here. You need to be on top of that stuff. This ain't no, oh, I'm just gonna one done, thank you, ma'am, just study for this test and forget about it, never have to come back to it. No. You have to make sure that stuff is ingrained in your brain, because you will go back to it. And it will be important that you know that stuff and that you take that stuff outside of school into your practice, because honey, it's going to be very important that you relate all of that to the case or to the patient that you are taking care of, especially when you got patients' lives on your hand. Your license is at stake. And honey, you done worked too hard and too long to get that license for you to throw that away over something that you should have known from the get-go. So anyways, what we was talking about, time management, don't procrastinate. Make sure you set aside enough time to get your tests done and study for, so you can do well. Number 3 on the list for things to make you successful in nurse practitioner school: sacrifice. Now, let me explain to you what that means. As I was saying, sacrifice. What do I mean by that? Sacrifice. Nursing school, nurse practitioner school in particular, you are going to have to dedicate a lot of your time. And I can't sugarcoat this. I'm just being as real and as honest as possible, because I know it's a lot of people out there that would appreciate that honesty. They want to know what they're really up against. In nurse practitioner school, you have to dedicate a lot of your time to studying, to clinicals. Yes, you will. When you get to that point, you will have to do clinical rotations, which is going to be some long days. I remember very distinctly many times when I was at my clinicals, staying there sometimes for 10 hours at a time and not getting any breaks, because we were constantly seeing patients nonstop. So be prepared for that. Be prepared to sacrifice your time. Be prepared to sacrifice going out. I mean, well, it's the pandemic now, so them days over anyway. But be prepared. Be prepared. Like, all jokes aside, y'all, I know I'm just tripping a little bit, just having a little fun with it. But all jokes aside, be prepared to sacrifice your time with family, with friends, with your spouse, with your kids, with your fur babies, aka your pets, even your own personal time. But you've only got a certain amount of hours in the day. So use that time wisely, and just know that because you're using that time, it's going to take away from other things that you would have normally given that time to. Hey, I promise you, the amount of sacrifice that you make, I promise you, take heed to my words, will be worth it in the end when you are done, when you are working in your profession as a nurse practitioner, honey. Pop that collar. It's worth it. I promise you, it's worth it. Number 4 of things I would highly recommend during nurse practitioner school: sleep. Sleep. I can't stress that enough. Make sure you are getting your rest. Nobody wants to be in school, especially on a day of a test or when you need to be studying for your test, drifting. I promise you, for me personally, I can't study. I can't retain anything from what I'm studying when I'm tired. A tired mind can't hold on to knowledge. Think about it. You so tired, you're drifting. Your eyeballs can't even stay open, but yet you trying to read a long paragraph. Like, tell the hubby, like, hey, babe, could you just read this to me? Like, I'm gonna listen to your words. It was actually his suggestion. So I just went along with it. I said, yeah, could you just read this to me? I'm listening to it, and if you need to repeat something, I'll let you know to repeat it so I can, understand it if I don't understand something about it. So I let him read to me. It worked pretty well in the beginning, but then I'm not gonna lie. It's been times I've been so tired. I was just like, you know what? I'll be falling asleep, and he'd be like, "Hey, babe, you heard that? You heard that? You get it? You get it?" I'm like, no. I done fell asleep. A tired mind is a useless mind. If you're too tired, you can't understand. You're not gonna retain. You're gonna be too daggone tired. You're gonna find yourself having to read over it 50 times just to understand it because you're too daggone tired to understand it the first 49 times. The last thing on the list, number 5, that is important. It can be applied to a lot of things, but make sure that you retain the knowledge. I can't stress that enough. Because a lot of times people say they go through school, they learn something, they never have to use it again in their careers. Well, honey, this ain't like that. Nursing, you won't use everything that you done learned. You're going to apply all of that to your patients, all of that. So make sure you don't forget it. Make sure it stays in the brain somewhere. Hey, you're going to have to revisit it somewhere or the other. So don't forget that stuff. Don't think that it's over and done with. Because, boy, you got a rude awakening if you think that. Make sure you retain the knowledge learned, because I guarantee the pathophysiology, pharmacology, all of that stuff that you're learning, honey, med surg, pediatrics, especially if you're going into family nurse practitioner like I did, all of that stuff, management of diseases, stuff like that you learn, all of that stuff is going to come back when you have the patient who's complaining about, oh, my stomach hurts, I've had these symptoms, and you're going out to assess, okay, so your stomach hurt, when did it start, what other symptoms are you experiencing? Oh, you're also having urinary frequency with this suprapubic or above the pubic pain and pressure. You're also having urinary frequency. Okay, so you have to understand the pathophysiology of things, right? You have to understand, okay, so she's having stomach pain. You can't just assume, oh, it's gastritis. That's to do with the stomach. No, honey. You have to know the pathophysiology. You have to know, okay, you have to know how to ask and formulate. You have to draw from other things that you've learned, the pathophysiology of other diseases that you've learned to get to your differential diagnosis. So that's a whole nother topic, differential diagnosis. And when you're understanding something, when somebody presents to you with certain symptoms, you have to have in your mind, because you're not going to have books in front of you to learn, oh, wait, they said they got this symptom, oh, they got this symptom. You're not going to have time for that, especially when you're getting through patients every 15 minutes. You don't have time for that. So you have to be able to retain that knowledge and know, oh, okay, well, they say they have urinary frequency, so these are my differentials so far. They say they have stomach pain. Okay, maybe it could be a type of gastritis or something they ate, right? That just didn't agree with them. Maybe food poisoning, kind of depends. Let me hear some more symptoms, or let me get some more information about your symptoms. Having urinary frequency. Okay, well, maybe it could be a UTI related thing. Okay, when was your last period? Oh, you haven't had a period in 6 weeks? Oh, maybe you're pregnant. So you see what I'm saying? You have to understand the pathophysiology of different diseases and be able to retain, so you can go back to that, so that when you're formulating different causes of what could be causing their problem, the diagnosis, you can have that information to relate to draw from, so that you can make a better interpretation and a better assessment, and basically a better diagnosis of what could be going on with them, so that you can know the right route to go when you're ordering certain tests, what tests to order, maybe what tests not to order. If they're talking about stomach pain, you know, they haven't had their period in 6 weeks, maybe you should do a pregnancy test, right? They've had urinary frequency, maybe you should do a urinalysis and a urine culture. So you kind of know where your treatment plan is kind of guided towards, help you decide the best treatment plan for that patient, right? So those are my 5 things. Again, I will name them. So number 1 was be organized. Number 2 was time management / don't procrastinate. Number 3 was sacrifice. Number 4 was get plenty of sleep. And then number 5 was retain the information, so you can have it to draw back from. So I hope you guys have learned from this video. And until then, I will see you guys in my next video. Until then, stay blessed. Peace, love, and happiness. Bye-bye. Thank you.